Hey guys, today we're going to be drawing a springtime bunny. This bunny is pretty easy to draw. Luckily you have this video to show you step by step how to do it. Now for your background, you get to choose from 3 different options. Those are the ones I'm providing for you, but if you'd like to come up with your own, by all means do it. The first option is chalk. Now I have chalk pastels at home. You might have sidewalk chalk. Now the difference between the two is one is meant for the ground, one is meant for paper or other surfaces. Now chalk pastels are actually very bright. They're highly pigmented. That means there's a lot of color in these. That's what they're made out of. That's why they turn out so bright on your paper. And I added color on all of them first, and then I blended it with my magic wand. That's this, my little finger here. Blended all of them together. If you'd rather use a paper towel to blend it, because of the feeling it is kind of dry, you might prefer that. Another option is the marker paint. When you choose the marker paint, you will simply color on your piece of aluminum foil. We'll call this your palette. With the colors you want to use, I use blue and green here. You can use more than that. And then you need a water cup with a paintbrush to break up that paint and spread it out, and gives it kind of a watercolor effect. And another option, your final option, is simple crayons or colored pencils. I stuck to the color family of blue, greens, and yellows. You can venture out a little bit if you want. You can add maybe a sunset color, maybe add some flowers in your background. That's up to you. I kept it simple and just did my blue, green, and yellow background for my bunny. And then after I glued my bunny down, I added this little flower next to her. You can add carrots, you can add Easter eggs, you can add anything. All right, I hope you're ready to draw. All right, for this project, you need 2 pieces of paper, one for your background, one for your bunny. You're going to need a pencil. You're going to need to pick whatever you decided to color with, whether it's the chalk pastels or sidewalk chalk. You could do the marker paint combo or the crayons. It's up to you. This next part of the video will be a super speed version of how to color each piece. All right, I chose chalk pastels, so let's see what that looks like. I'm going to set my other paper to the side and focus on the background first. I'm going to take my chalk, lay it on its side like it's sleeping, and start to color. Now notice the dust it's creating all over my paper. You might consider putting a messy mat or a newspaper or something under your piece of paper to protect your work surface. It is easy to wipe off, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to continue on with my colors. I have the dark green now. After I have these on, I'm going to gather my dust, kind of fold my paper up a little bit and shake it off to the side, maybe in the trash can or in a small pile that you will clean up later. I just know it. If your work surface is messy, wipe it off real quick and set your paper back and get ready to blend with your magic wand. Remember, you are using just the one finger. If you need more than one, maybe 2 would help. I'm blending in circles, that way I can make sure I cover all of my peekaboos, all those white spaces. I started from the bottom and worked my way up. If you would rather work from the top to the bottom, that's okay too. Blending, blending. All right, shake my dust off to the side, and there we go. Beautiful. Make sure you clean up your workspace. After you've wiped off your table, let's start drawing. You might want to start with a pencil. I'm going to start with a marker. Put my lid on the back. Please put your finger on the top middle of your paper. Slide down to about here. We're going to start with a V shape. This is for the bunny's nose. We're going to turn that V into a Y. But make sure you have room at the bottom for his body and the top for the head. There's our Y. Now we'll add 2 short lines for his cute little mouth. And then a small curve underneath for his actual mouth. There we go. Now from under the mouth, you're going to start drawing his cheeks. We're trying to keep the cheeks kind of big, and notice that little curve I put right below his mouth. Remember, pause the video as often as you need to, guys. Now we're going to bring these lines up for the side of his head. We're not going to add the ears yet, but we are going to put the top of his head kind of like fur or cute little hair. If you want to put a bow in your bunny's hair or something on the top of his head, maybe a hat, now's a good time to do it. Now we'll draw the eyes. We're using an oval shape. I did kind of a different bottom just to make it look like the eyes are kind of smiling a little bit rather than just a plain oval. Do my little eyelashes. You don't have to add those if you don't want. This little circle here is like a highlight in the eye so it doesn't look so plain black. You don't have to color your eyes in black. They could be a color of your choice. It's up to you. Now we're going to draw the ears. I'm doing ears down on this little bunny. On this one, I will do the ears up. So kind of follow along with either side you prefer. For the ears down, we're going to do a line kind of going diagonal from the eye and do a short line so we know where to start. And then kind of a line going out diagonally and then a long line going down. And then the tip of his ear should look kind of like folded, and then it comes back up to the cheek. Now for the other side, line coming down. Oop, my ear's a little lopsided. Now's a good time to pause the video if you need to catch up with these ears. There we go. And for the ears going up, go between the eyes, straight up, put a little bit of hair showing, and then curve out to the side and back up. Start at the tip, come down, make a little fur, so it looks like the ear is open. Maybe you want to do one of each. That's a pretty cool idea, one up and one down. Go back to the tip of the ear, curve down, do a little hair, there you go. Awesome job. Add some whiskers. Oh, so cute. I just do 3 on each side. You could do more if you'd like. You can make them shorter. Maybe you want to add a bow tie to your bunny's neck under his mouth. That's a pretty cute idea too. Alright, we're going to add the front legs. Start in the middle by the mouth and slide down. Kind of lined up where the ears are. Not all the way to the bottom because you need to leave room for the feet. This line will be shorter because you're going to show the foot on the other side. Remember, bunnies are furry, so if your lines aren't perfectly straight, that's better. So it looks like texture or fur on your bunny. And the other foot, his feet are close together, they're touching. Same thing for the other side, the other bunny. A long line in the middle, a shorter line on the side. Add the foot. Same with the other foot. There we go. Now you'll add the back legs. Now the bunny with the floppy ears, the ears down, I like to imagine him being very chubby. So that's why his legs look so big. So I started up by the ear and did a nice curvy line, came down. It's like a circle cut in half kinda. And then do his cute little feet. Oh, he's so cute. So now's a good time to start tracing in black marker if you haven't already. And these little lines I'm adding kind of represent his fur. I don't want to draw every little hair, but putting these lines really help show texture on our bunny without adding too much. I'm just kind of staying on the outside edges of my bunny. You might remember doing this when we drew our polar bears in art class. A few more streaks, a couple here, a couple there. Maybe a few on his bottom feet, and then maybe up on the top of his head. Have your scissors ready and let's start cutting. Be real careful not to cut yourself or anything off. I am going to cut the whiskers off and just have to redraw them, I guess. And I'll cut around the edges. Try to cut on your line or close to it. Do the best cutting you can. Set your scraps to the side and grab your background. It's time to glue your bunny to your masterpiece. And you're going to add glue just around the outside edges of your bunny. Around the edges, because that's the areas that matter, that stick the most. That matter the most. There we go. Because on the edges, then that way they don't have to pop up on the sides all the way around. If you're using liquid glue, just use a few dots around the edges. All right, does it go right here? Or maybe on the side, down on the bottom? Nope, right there. Beautiful. And now instead of rubbing it on the front, flip it over. Rub the back of your paper really, really well with both hands, pressing firmly. Flip it over, and now you can call this done, or add some grass or flowers or other details to your bunny. Remember, I hope you guys enjoyed drawing the springtime bunny with me. You can make it. I will see you all next week for another fun art lesson.